Hey, check it out. You are back in the No Comfort Zone. This is Dan Brzezowski. In today's podcast, I'm going to be talking about There Is a Way Out. I hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Sometimes, as in life, there's things that happen that are just way beyond your control. And you just have to have the best, what I would say, attitude in those trying times and during that adversity to realize that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not another train coming your way. And I was given some really good advice from a sponsor in AA who told me that, you know what, man, you're 10 years you've been out there living this lifestyle. And I want to let you know that if you go into the woods and it's going to take you, 10 years to get into the woods and you want to get back out, it's going to take you 10 years to get back out. And that might seem a little daunting, but I want to tell you, there is a way out. There is a way out. And maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be 10 years. One of my biggest problems I had, I think, was that I was extremely impatient. It's a blessing and a curse. I was impatient with my active recovery, and I was thinking, I wasn't that bad of a dude to have these consequences. I would play the role of a victim really well. And I guess the way he made it logical for me was to tell me that here's the sentence. You've been doing this for 10 years. Your financial, your relationships, your health, all of these things aren't going to come back, until you've worked at it for 10 years. And I just want to tell you is that the advice that he gave me was very profound, but it wasn't accurate. You see, I ended up getting a lot better really quick. My reality came back to where I kind of left off in the successful things in my life and the better things. I was really blessed to have that happen to me, but I always really truly believed that it would take me another, 10 or 15 years to get back to square one. And some things, yeah, it did. Financially, I had a lot of setbacks, but it took me a long time to get back to that place. And that's what I want to let you, the listener, know is that then there is a way out. And sometimes it's just putting one foot in front of the other. It's going to that job every single day that, maybe you don't like, but it's just doing the work. And the benefit I learned from all of this, if I knew it was going to be, let's say, 10 years, and I bought into it, and I went to work, and I worked on myself, and I just tried to be better. I tried to follow those principles that are taught, that are embedded in you in the AA program, the 12 steps. I ended up using that in my life and the personal growth and development that I've been studying, as I've mentioned before in this podcast, for 30 years and applying those principles. And I just started adding a lot of value to my life by really working on it every single day. And it didn't take 10 years at all. I started to get the confidence that I needed back very shortly after I started applying the principles. And then the reality that I needed to change around me started to change quickly as well. And I want to let you know that there is a way out. And the blueprint that I've created is accumulation of all of that. But it's more important, it's just to let you know that, you don't have to be an addict or an alcoholic. You don't have to have massive adversity going on. Quite frankly, I don't know how to help you with massive adversity. More importantly, what I'm saying is that if you're stuck in a particular place in your life and if you're going through some troubles, and I'll even explain it on the podcast, this episode, I'll give you in a minute, one of the things that I did that really helped, and it was kind of cool that I learned this, but it comes down to that mindset. And if you need help with your mindset, just getting your head wrapped around it, how do you get through a really bad day? How do you get through overwhelm, frustration, distraction? How do you conquer that day? Well, go to launchwithdan.com. And when you go there, you're going to go to a calendar. And on that calendar, I want you to schedule some time with me. And I want to talk with you for half an hour, have a great conversation, get to know you a little bit. And I want to help you and give you information that's free. I'm not going to charge you anything for it. I want to help you to get through your day, and I want you to use these principles. And then I'm looking for a testimonial. And if you want to work together longer, for sure, we do that. I mean, I worked with a lot of different people in a lot of different aspects, and but this is free. This is one of those things. Don't hesitate. Get a little uncomfortable and reach out to somebody that you don't know, or if you've been listening for a while and we resonate, reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Go to launchwithdan.com, schedule the time. I'll call you, and we'll just take it from there. Let me know what's going on, and I'll give you some great advice that'll help you conquer the day. So here's one of the things that I did that when I applied it, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't have two sticks to rub together. I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out, as my dad used to say. I didn't have anything. I was beyond broke, and I had debt, and I had issues, and I had living situation, that was just tough. I went to my counselor, and I'm like, how do I contribute? My mom's buying my groceries. I'm living at her house, and I can't get a job. I mean, I'm just in a really bad spot, and I owe all this money, and I'm just really behind. And health-wise, I'm concerned. I don't know what to do. What do I do? And she said, it's simple. Go get, they're not food stamps. I forgot. Go get a link card. I'm not going to get a link card. I'm not going to rely on the government. We have food at the house. Yeah, but at least use your benefits you've been putting into the system. Use those benefits that you have and bring some food home to your mom so she doesn't have to do it. No, she's a widow. And here's me feeding off of her. I felt terrible about that. And I just thought to myself, what I need to do is, I couldn't do that. I just couldn't. I have to go get a job that wasn't in my field. And I ended up taking a job at a local gym, basically handing out towels and signing up people for memberships, and starting out at a very entry-level position. And I made very little money. And what was kind of bad too is that I owed so much money in child support that the majority of it went to my wife, my ex-wife, who didn't spend it on the kids. And, here I am getting behind. I'm going to work. I'm trying to do my thing, trying to have a life, trying to stay sober through all this. And it was just overwhelming. And I thought, man, this is never going to end. But what I did is I was able to contribute towards my bills, my little bills that I had. I had massive bills, let me say, but I had little bills like credit cards and things like that, and agreements that I had to pay on, and medical bills. And I would just make little payments. And I had no expectation of keeping any of the money myself. As a matter of fact, when I went to court, the judge asked me, what are you living on? And I said, I'm not. I'm not. I have to borrow money to put in my car from my mom to go to work because the gas prices were insane back then. Well, here's what I did. I looked up some information, and I learned how to do a debt reduction with budgeting with a snowball effect. And it's basically, if you've got 3 credit cards, you grab your highest balance, your highest interest, whatever you want to do, and you make your minimum payments, and then you add, let's say, $20 a month to that payment in addition to. So let's say you have $100 plus you add 20. Well, then when that bill finally gets paid off, let's say it's a $20 bill, you take that 2 other bills, that'll be, let's say, $80. Then you apply that $20 that you don't have to pay anymore to one of those, plus the other 20 you were paying, and so on and so on. And it's snowball effect. And what's great is it took me a while, but I was able to get completely out of debt. I kept applying more money to that idea. Now, some people might disagree, Dan, you should invest your money when you make more money and stuff. Well, I'm happy to say that I live well below my means now. I don't have a lot of debt, don't like to carry debt, and I learned that from that lesson. And in doing so, I'm in a position where I just don't go out and do extravagant things. I work really hard. I have a well-paying job. But in the end, I learned some lessons from that, and it doesn't last forever. I learned something through that adversity that I apply now. And I got to be honest, it's very nice to know that I have, some confidence in my finances and ability to invest and my ability to do some other things with it. And it's nice to be in this position just because I've learned and I've applied the principles. And that's one of those things that I talk on the blueprint is that knowledge, attitude, skills, and habits. I needed knowledge on how to learn about debt reduction. I had to have a better attitude about the money I was making and where it was going to go. I had to develop a skill to understand that when I make money, I have to know where am I going to apply this money for the greatest impact so that I could reduce it over the period of time. And then the habits. Every time instead of wanting to go, okay, I have extra money, instead of I used to smoke, I'm not going to buy cigarettes, I quit that. I'm not going to go out and buy a $5 Starbucks coffee, even though I like that. I'm going to go to Dunkin' Donuts, or better yet, I'm going to make my own at home. And those are the skills and the habits that I had to develop. And it's served me very well. And most people understand this. Most people live by this. But a guy like myself who, not very patient, wasn't in touch with reality, I had to learn these things the hard way, but I did. And I apply these type of principles throughout every aspect of my life. And I would like to talk with you more about that to help you basically understand that it doesn't have to be forever and there is a way out. And furthermore, I'm looking for 3 people that are looking to really go after their life's goals and learn how to accomplish things, and really in the next 90 days, change the way that they're looking at life and start to become successful. And if you're interested, go to launchwithdan.com. Mention that you're a listener on the podcast, and I would love an opportunity to work with you. But more importantly, today's the day. Listen, this is October 22nd of 2020. It is the last October 22nd, 2020 you are ever going to have. My suggestion today, just today, look at all the opportunity that you have in front of you, conquer the day. And the way that you do that is simply this, as I always say at the end of every podcast, today's the day to truly get out of your comfort zone, start living on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.